Um, just want to let everybody know the call to action that I'm currently doing. I'll probably be doing it until I die. Um, write your elected officials, local, county, state, and federal, and ask them to work on getting assisted suicide legalized to help out the people that are sick or dying. I with what's going on with me, I remember watching my mom die in hospice, and they did the best they can. They did everything they legally could, but basically she lingered after she couldn't eat anymore. The last several days she wasn't even going to the bathroom because she wasn't eating any food and water, and there's just got to be better options for people. Um, okay, I think I got the chest yesterday, so let's go to number 4. Actually, let's stay here and do. I don't know if this is gonna work. We'll start out with master. I think I'm playing at torment level 1, but I might not. Let's try master.
Are you ready?
I'm watching Ancient Aliens, and they're talking about it. It sounds like a special. It looks like it's going to be on for more than an hour, and they're talking about Chariots of the Gods. If I do, I was thinking today was Saturday, so I was either gonna. I don't even think I was gonna stream. I was just gonna play my my regular. Well, it's still one of these characters that when you die, it's done. Hardcore or whatever it is. But I was just gonna play the regular character, the one I don't stream, because I haven't been playing that one at all since I kept losing these. I really wanted to get this one up to level 70. And I thought today was Saturday. I think I figured it out when I saw what was on TV, and I should have known it when I got up and way too early was on, because that's not on the weekends. What do we got?
The gods strike through me.
I'm looking at the bar, and I don't know. I'm either ahead of it or I'm way behind it. I don't know which.
Your flaws are revealed.
If I do the stream today, I think I'm gonna talk about Terra Preta. I'm a little bummed out because with my broken ankle, I didn't, you know, I might not have been able to do it anyways because of the situation with what my sister's pulling. But because right now the money I got, I keep the internet going. I'm keeping the TV that we watch going. I don't really like to go out that much anyways, so having something to watch, it's you know, it's nice, and keep that going for as long as I can. And
strike through me.
but I might not have been. I could have maybe got a couple, or at least I could have started some stuff from seeds. But I wasn't really. I couldn't get around worth a shit until a little more recently. And by the time I was able to, by the time I got even the boot on, and I was still not getting around that great with the boot, but by the time I got the boot on, it was really too late. You know, I don't think the stores would have had any good selection of stuff to pick up and whatnot.
Feel the wrath of Yita.
Not enough spirit.
Your flaws are revealed.
I don't have enough spirit.
Do you see that enemy over there? Let us cleanse it from this land.
I need spirit. I don't have enough spirit. I need spirit.
This fight is over.
Not enough spirit.
Break beneath the endless tide.
I don't have enough spirit.
Well, get some spirit. I ain't got no spirit. She'd never make the Texas Longhorns cheerleading squad, that's for damn sure. You know, if some of you people are younger, this
Not
might be
enough
before
spirit.
your time, but, and I don't know, maybe it's inappropriate, I don't know, but they did this movie called Man of the House with
Feel
Tommy
the
Lee
wrath of
Jones,
Yita.
and he was a Texas Ranger who had to protect these cheerleaders that witnessed a murder. They were witnesses, and oh my God, was that movie funny?
I need spirit.
The Rift Guardian is here.
My mind.
Oh, that's who I'm here for.
You have triumphed.
Okay. Next one I can go up a
I'm
level or
lessening
two.
my burden.
And like Auric, I once when the chance. If you have good to see you.
Okay, we got...
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, she can't carry anymore. Her purse isn't big enough. Okay, I'm only showing one of these. I should have at least. I should have more than these. That's got to be another glitch. I'm wondering if they did these glitches on purpose to try and get people to move over to Diablo 4. Because you guys just saw it. I should have 2 gems in there. Now I've only got 1. The level 5 one disappeared. And I should have like 4 or 5 of these things. Oh, maybe... Okay, maybe that's in here then. Because that looks like the one I was leveling up. That would be... I have no idea where that is. This might be me, I don't know, but they're... I just affected this gem. Okay, apparently I can maybe strengthen those. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get out of this for a minute. Switch heroes. I'm trying to, I just want to Okay. Okay. It was me. I take back all at least half of the stuff I was thinking about it. I did. I thought it was because I'm like, God, I should have more gems than this. And it was my other hardcore character that I'm using in the season.
Meet your destiny. We must face another
Oh
battle.
yeah, there we go.
A vicious strike.
I cannot open this. Not enough spirit.
Your strength fails.
I don't have enough spirit. I am returning to town.
Okay, in further insult to Russia, India landed a unmanned scout on the moon. Russia couldn't do it, but India's space program. So you know, there was someone who made the comment that we used to think Russia had the second best army in the world. Now we know they have the second best one that's in Ukraine. And again, you know, Russia, hell, India might even be doing better than us because it didn't take them like 4 or 5 tries to get a working one on there like we did with Mars. But, you know, Russia clearly isn't the second best space force. It's at least the third. Okay. We gotta go kill Sledge.
You are defeated. Angel spirit is free. I need spirit. Your flaws are revealed. Not enough spirit.
Okay, Sledge, I'm coming for you.
Your spirit is free. The storm breaks.
What I find is amazing is this Van Dyniken guy. I always get him and Zachariah Stitchin mixed up. They're two authors, and I'm not saying it's right. It's a reality, but
I don't have enough spirit. I need to go back.
oh, and I uploaded some new videos today. I not every day do I think about it, and I apologize for the one or two people that are actually checking. And I mean I don't care if it's 1 or 100. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Oh wow, we are definitely upgrading.
Not enough spirit.
Kill the aspect of pain. Done. Now we just gotta kill 90. I got 98 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I gotta go kill 97 bad guys now. Gotta kill 100 altogether, and I have 3. They're talking about this thing now, like, but you know, just to finish my thought from earlier, it just blows my mind. This guy was not. This guy was not. classically taught. He was not a professor of anything. He was like a restaurant manager guy. And he did some research on his own, and he came up with this ancient aliens idea, or he added to it. I can't remember, but you know, he jumped on that, and he wrote a book. And he didn't write the book from a position of I know. He wrote the book from a position of I have questions.
I don't have
How
enough
about
spirit.
you? And he kind of created a movement. Now, to be fair, I think he did his for good purpose. I don't see any harm in it, but it's kind of the same thing like Fox News and the right-wing news do. They don't actually report you the facts. They ask questions. People used to do that with Tucker Carlson. They would show you that, well, you know, hey, is that really the way it is? We got to think about it. And it was basically, you know, spreading rumor and gossip. Some of it led to, you know, and I'm not blaming Tucker Carlson for this per se, but the right-wing media got some mentally disturbed guy to go shoot up a pizza parlor in D.C. So there can be danger to this. But with him, I would say that it was for good purpose. I sincerely believe that. But he did a lecture, and he was explaining, and I got a friend that did this. He was talking about there's a lot of technology described in the Bible, like when they basically tell you how to make the Ark of the Covenant. They now know that it's basically like a giant superconductor, and like my thing was, well, what if that was, because there's some that say, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But there's some that say that after the fall of Atlantis, three people, leaders, if you want to call them that, from Atlantis went and created Egypt and a couple other places. And maybe they no longer had the ability to make Atlantean tech small, easy to carry around. Maybe they had to make stuff big like the Ark of the Covenant. And it, you know, because like the Bible makes it sound like it's a single thing, and you talk to historians and they're like, well, yeah, this ancient Egypt, this was something that they had, you know, it was multiple. It wasn't like some divine thing from God. Now, it may have turned into that as they lost their technology, as they became more primitive. You know, as the smart people died off and they weren't able to pass on all their knowledge. Like, you take a look now, and they did a really good show, Jeremiah, Showtime did years ago, back when they used to make really... Actually, they've made some good stuff recently, too. When they used to really make some... when they used to make really good content, like, they're the ones that created Stargate SG-1. And they did Jeremiah, and they did some other stuff. But with Jeremiah, they had, you know, and we could have had this. We could have absolutely had this with COVID. A lot of people don't realize it, but they predicted COVID potentially decades before it ever happened. And but they had a disease that wiped out everybody, as they said in the thing, above the age of innocence, I think is the way they refer to it. Anybody that had hit puberty died. And all that was left was the kids. Well, we lost all technology. And, you know, there was very little, and then, you know, everybody started up these little fiefdoms around. And they were all being run by kids, because all the adults died off. Well, that could have happened to us. Because, you know, the thing is, though, kids were still susceptible, but clearly there was more danger for the adults, especially the older people. And, but he pointed out, he was doing a lecture where he was pointing out the technology in the Bible, and there was a NASA engineer that was attending. And I guess he came up and introduced himself and told him, told him his background. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna look into what you said." And he goes, "And I'm gonna write a paper. I'm gonna write a paper debunking what you just said." He goes, "I'm gonna go check out the Bible." And what happened was he went through the Bible, and at the end of it, he realized that the guy was right. There was things in the Bible, and then apparently, and I don't know if it's on now because I'm playing the game, but I've heard this story before. There was and what he did is he made a model, and then somebody else, a student of Van Dyneken's, he made another model of another part of it, and they each made it. And then they brought them together and they fit together. There were two things that were described by old text that, if you kind of read between the lines, if you just used a little imagination, it kind of came off like, yeah, this here might be technology. And what they found was when one person made one thing and one person made the other, they actually fit together. Yeah, we're not going to go ahead and use that. But,
Your flaws are revealed. I don't have enough spirit.
and the thing I find amazing is this is a guy that was fairly religious. I mean, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I really don't. But for him, to go to a lecture and to basically, go up there and say, I'm religious, I'm gonna go check, and he was just certain, just absolutely certain that this guy was wrong. Well, then what did he do? He went and read the Bible, and when he read it, then he kind of backtracked. And I think that's part of what's wrong with our society right now. There's a lot of people out there, they think they know what the Bible says, and they don't know the history of it. Like, one guy was trying to tell me, and he was way more religious than I was, and our mutual friend made a comment that he kind of felt bad, but because he was giving me crap because I was putting Xmas down instead of writing out Christmas. And he said, well, that's actually kind of disrespectful. I go, it really is. And he goes, well, what do you mean? I go, back in the day when Christians were being persecuted, I go, they would put an X on the door, and it basically meant Christ lives here. So the followers of Jesus would know that they had friends there, but it wasn't something that the authorities knew. Like, if they wrote Christ on it, they'd probably have people kicking in their door and persecuting because they were following Jesus. And there was a guy. Now, I didn't read the book where he was talking about this. I read the book called Misquoting Jesus, and he basically made a comment. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not a historian. I haven't researched this stuff like him. But according to him, airmen I might have the name wrong. Look up the author of Misquoting Jesus. That's the guy. But he said there were no laws in Rome persecuting Christians, according to him. I didn't think that was true. I'm not sure. But he said what you had was you had a polytheism society, people that believed in many gods. And what happened was you had these people that only believed in one God, and there was a lot of superstition back then that you had to, you had to pray to this God or things happened bad in the ocean. Well, you had fishermen in the area. And, there were people that, you got to pray to this God or earthquakes happen, or you got to pray to this God or famine happens. And, you had these group of people that didn't believe in any of them. So he said what happened was when bad things happened, and you can kind of see it today in politics with the Republican Party. You got these people that want to blame everybody and their cousin for their problems, except for what's really going on,
I need to go back.
But they would get persecuted, but there wasn't really any official law. It was just basically vigilante justice that was going on. And all I'm going to say is, maybe if that vigilante justice had been a little more successful, we wouldn't have some of the problems we have with the Republican Party right now. Okay, we got one more left. Trying to figure out what time it is. Oh, good. Ooh, I didn't see a key earlier, so I'm like, oh, there's no key in this one. I might even have time to go get that key. Oh, sweet. This one's right here.
For.
I am returning.
It is not ready yet.
And get the bonus chest. Oh well.
I need to go back.
I cleansed the cursed chest. Gotta be another one. Okay. Yeah, I thought that one was gonna be real easy. It's because I didn't look at the map, but I saw that cleanse the cursed chest, and there was a cursed chest right there. I'm like, oh, this one's gonna be real easy.
I need spirit. This cannot be opened yet.
Just over there. I never imagined such a creature.
They're really stingy with the bonus chest.
I cannot open this.
I'll be lucky if I can finish 2 waves before the timer ends. Yep, I got 2 waves. Denied, no bonus chest.
This cannot be opened yet.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
My path becomes clearer.
I am returning to town.
Well done. You have finished.
Okay. Yeah, nope, nope, nope. Nope.
I'm carrying too much.
Ooh. Well, it won't let me wear it. But this one here. Ooh. Yeah, it won't let me wear it, but this one's got a lot more life per second. Okay. Yeah, I'll try and get this key. I will go ahead and see if I can do another special rift.
I must wait to use that ability.
And then I'll go feed the cats. Usually I stay in that's probably going to be the case most days. I get up, I feed the cats, and then I go back to bed. And I put on like the morning news, and then if I fall asleep, I'm not losing it. It's something I want to watch. But if I fall asleep, and then if the news is shit, then I look for something like, I watch the news for a little bit, and then I put on something talking about history, and I can't remember. I fell asleep pretty quick in it, but I put that on, so if I stayed awake, it'd be something I wanted to watch. But if I fell asleep, it wouldn't be the end of the world, you know. Because I've done that lately, where I put on something I like a lot, West Wing, and some other stuff, and then when I woke up, I realized I had fallen asleep watching it. Well, then I gotta figure out which episode was on when I fell asleep, so I can go back and rewatch it so I don't miss anything. It was kind of nice watching that again. It really was. Some of it was sad. Some of it was downright sad. Like they, you know, the one thing that I thought was kind of sad, Charlie, he ended up on, God, I can't remember the show. He was kind of the sidekick. It was on USA. It was a guy that he did detective work, and everybody thought he was psychic. Well, he was just very observant and paid attention to details or whatever. Kind of like the Mentalist, but he was the sidekick on there that helped the guy. And well, he started out working for the president. Like he showed up. His mom had just gotten killed. She was a D.C., Washington D.C. Police officer, and she'd been killed in the line, shot and killed in the line. And his dad either ran off or had died, and he was there for the mailroom job because he had to take care of. He was trying to finish high school, or he had just finished high school, and he was trying to take care of his kid sister, you know. And he didn't try and steal a house from her or other shit that some scandalous fucking sleazy fucking people do. But he showed up. Well, they had kind of told this Debbie Fidower character, you didn't know this. I think they mentioned, I think Josh, well, yeah, we told Debbie to kind of keep an eye out for anyone that, you know, was slipping through the cracks. Because when, you know, he was basically being told, you know, what was going on, he's like, oh, I'm here for the mailroom job. And they go, yeah, Debbie's got kind of an eye for talent, and we asked her to keep an eye out for us, and she basically thought you'd be wasted in the mailroom, and we kind of agree. And he goes, well, what job am I being considered for? And they go, personal assistant to the president. He's like, no, he was really fucking, you know, no. And he ended up getting a job, and while he was working, he was going to college. And taking what classes he could while he served the president, you know. And well, then when the president made him promise that when he graduated, and we're talking like 7 years later, 5, 6, 7 years later, so he was, you know, it took a little longer than 4 years for him to graduate, but the president made him promise, you know, hey, when you graduate, you know, you got to leave me and go get a job, a real job. And so what happened was when he got close, he was kind of sandbagging graduating. He was just going to putz around here and there because other people were kind of, and the president didn't have nothing to do with this, but other people were like, hey, nope. Other people were like, well, hey, shouldn't you be doing this? Shouldn't you be? Yeah. He goes, there's just no rush. And then finally, he was kind of friends with or dating the president's daughter, and she let her dad know that she was pretty sure he was milking it so he wouldn't have to leave, because he didn't want to leave the president. He'd gotten to where he kind of thought of the president as like a surrogate father, and he didn't want to, you know, he just didn't want to leave him. Well, then what he did was, he's like, all right, I'll start looking for a job. Well, he went around to like the deputy chief of staff and all these other people, and he had his he gave him his resume. Like when he gave it to Josh, he goes,
Brave the rifts, and you will be well rewarded.
You know, here's my resume. I promised the president when I graduate I'd start looking for a job. And he goes, and I really want you to ignore it. And he goes, oh, okay. He goes, are you sure? He goes, I could really use you around here. He goes, no. He goes, no. He goes, just seriously, just ignore it. Because he goes, I really don't want to leave the president. Plenty of time to find a job after he leaves office. And Josh is like, well, okay, I'll put it here in my desk. But he goes, you let me know if you change your mind, because he goes, I could definitely use you. I could find a spot for you. You'd be useful. Well, he went around doing this to everybody. I think he did it to Toby. Toby didn't really question. He's just like, okay, I can ignore it. And because he always had more shit to do than he had time for anyways. He didn't need the bullshit. And then when he gave it to CJ, she's like, because the chief of staff, she moved up from being press secretary to chief of staff. Well, chief of staff had 5 personal assistants or something like that. There's like staff people that, you know, kind of like the president had 4 or 5 personal secretaries that were, you know, run by the executive secretary. You know, the chief of staff had the same kind of thing, but I think they called them personal assistants or something like that. And she goes, you know, I got one of them. She goes, I got a couple of them I got to fill. She goes, you could work for me. You could do important work. You'd be keeping your promise to the president. And she goes, you'd be reporting to me. And she goes, my office is like 50 feet from the president. And she goes, just think about it. He goes, oh, okay. So he came on and was one of her assistants. And what was funny is Margaret, the chief, the executive secretary or whatever you want to call her for the chief of staff, she worked for Leo. And then when he had a heart attack and had to step down, CJ wanted to keep her. She said, look, I'm not going to, I don't want you to feel like I'm forcing you to stay here, but if you don't mind, she goes, you know, Leo found you very, very useful, and I think I will too. I'd really like you to stay. Well, when they were trying to find Charlie an office, and you got to think, it was a running gag in the show. They hired somebody for a entry-level White House lawyer, counsel's office, and she was in the steam trunk distribution center was her office. Well, what they did is they were looking at the available office space, and they're like, we're talking about like closets and shit like that. Well, Margaret was with whoever was in charge of that, and I think it might have been somebody that had worked for CJ in the press room. And what they did was they took a look at all the available offices, and Margaret was counting out the steps, because there's some kind of a prestige thing on how many steps away from the president you are. And so they were basically going over like how far away his new office would be from the Oval. And they were doing it. They go, this is the 3rd office we've checked out. And Margaret goes, we'll keep checking them out until we, you know, because they're probably thinking, well, you know, you work for the chief of staff. You probably got better things to be doing here. And she goes, we'll keep doing this until we get it right. And she was counting out her steps, and they didn't even make it to the office to see how nice it was. As soon as she got to so many steps, it's like, nope, this ain't gonna work. It's too far away. And then I think they found him a closet somewhere, but it was within range of either the chief of staff's office or the president's office, so they were okay with it. Yeah, I gotta start doing these so I can get those stones or whatever.
A vicious strike.
Fuck this.
Feel the wrath of Yitar! You are defeated!
Oh, sweet. I still got that super speed, and now I got the electric stuff.
The gods strike through me. This fight is over.
All the lightning's gone, but I still got the speed.
Your flaws are revealed.
The Rift Guardian has arrived.
Nephilim, you have triumphed.
My burden is too great.
My name is Ash. When the champion, if you have a gem, yes.
I am returning to town.
Okay, now according to there's something on here now, and I have no idea. Okay, this must still be the same one where they're talking about Van Dyke, the Chariot of the Gods author, but they found some remains, and they're saying that nobody wants to test them. And, you know, it's, again, I've lost a lot of respect for that guy, but Nick Pope does have a point. Well, if they're refusing to even let them be tested, what are they afraid of? You know, like, honestly, what are they afraid of? Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody go. I hope you all have. I thought today was Saturday. I hope you guys all have a good Friday and a good weekend. I am gonna go work on feeding the cats, and then I'm gonna probably wrangle up a lunch for myself. Peace out, and I hope everybody has a pretty good day.
The ancients